Hello guys, and welcome back to our fifth building our own website tutorial. In today's tutorial we're going to go ahead and apply some more styling into the to our nav menu, which we did in our previous tutorial. Very little. And also what we're going to go ahead and going to define a new section in our HTML code where we're going to put our profile picture, or where we want it to be on our page. Alright, so let's get started with this tutorial. First of all, if you remember from our previous tutorial, let me go ahead and run this in Firefox. When you hover over our links, we see we want this pointer to be basically a hand or a finger, so it looks better. To do that is simple. All we will have to do is just go into our CSS here, and we have the hover. We're gonna put cursor as pointer, so we will set the property to pointer, and we see nothing happening. Once we refresh the page, we should see our effect. So you see hand pointing, which looks a little bit more professional. Alright, now let's go ahead and go into our HTML, and underneath the header here, but underneath the header section, but within our parent container, we're going to define a new div, and I'm going to give it an ID as, since this is going to be our site, I'm going to say my info. Okay, let me close this tag and put the closing tag there. Alright, so now in my div my info, I'm going to go into my style sheet here, and I'm going to go ahead and type my info, which was the ID that we gave our div. So once we say my info here in CSS, it will be referring to the div here, which has the ID of my info. Okay, simply I'm going to give it a width here. I'm going to give it the same width that we had up here. I'm going to give it 985 pixels, and the height I'm going to give it as auto. Alright, so once we've done that, now we have a width and a height set, and I also want to set the position to relative. So I want this to be relative to the previous section in positioning. Alright, so now if we go ahead and see what happened here, we will see nothing occurring as expected, as we haven't actually put anything within this div. So within this div I'm going to have another section, so I'm going to declare another div. I'm going to open opening tag, closing tag. I'm going to give it an ID, and I'm going to call this as my picture section, as in this div we're going to put our picture. Alright, so simply for that section here, what I will do is I'm going to call that ID again, which I called my picture. You guys, whatever you guys called it, or whichever ID you guys gave it. So once I again in my CSS, I'll type my picture, and that will be referring to the div or the section here that has the corresponding ID. Okay, simply in here I'm going to set the position relative, as I want this to be relative to my info div or section. Next, what I will simply do is I'm going to float left, and what this will do is we'll put the image. So what this will do is, like, once you put the image within this div, is going to float this div to the left side of the main div. So it's going to put it on the left side within this div. The reason we're doing that is because within the same div we're going to also define a form, or where we're going to put our information, basically our first name, last name, and so on, if people want to contact us. Alright, so now let's go ahead and actually do the image. So img, opening and closing tag, refers to an image. Okay, so now for our in my website folder here, I created within the my website folder, I created another subfolder called img, or you can call it images, or whatever you guys prefer. And within here you can put your profile or the picture that you want people to view in your site. For me, I just have a sample here, and I call it avatar. So simply now I want to call that picture. So to do that, I'm going to type src for source. So where am I taking this picture from? Simply is img, and the name of the picture, avatar, and then the extension. I'm going to also type Alt for alternative, and what this will do is, like, so let's say your picture doesn't load, then it will just display the corresponding text. So I'm going to say here as my profile picture as the alternative. So if my picture doesn't show up, then I will see this corresponding text. So let's save this, and now we should see our picture appear. So we see here our picture and floated to the left of our page, and this should be your picture, guys. But what we can also do is, like, I feel this picture might be slightly closer to our navigation menu, so we can put it a little bit down. So let's go within our CSS here again, and in our info here, so we want to move the main div a little bit lower. So what I will do here is I'm going to type padding, just like we did up there. I don't want any padding on the left or on the right and left. I just want up and down, so I'm going to give it up and down, it's 10 pixels, and left to right I want it to be 0 pixels. So now let's go ahead and see this effect. Let's refresh the page, and you see the pixel move a little bit lower. Okay, now let's go ahead back into our HTML and see what this alt means. So let me just remove one letter here. That means that the source or the image will not be available, since it doesn't have it has an incorrect name. So our source will not locate the image, and it should display my profile picture instead. So let's run. As you see here, my profile picture. That way you know where the error happened or so. So let me replace that with avatar again and go back, and you should see your image appear. Alright guys, so that was it for this tutorial. I hope you guys liked it, and you see, like, we're trying to move as fast as possible here to have a working site. Next, what we're gonna do here is we're gonna go ahead and try to put next to our image here, we're gonna put a form, or basically a section, which will have basically our maybe first name, last name, you know, and additional information you guys would like to put here. So that will be in our next tutorial. Again, thank you for watching this tutorial, guys. It really means a lot. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do that, as it really means a lot. And please watch some other tutorials, and again, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. So thank you for watching, and until next time, thank you.